Hey y'all, Nova here. Today I'll be making a best weapons tier list for the light class in the finals. I'll be giving you my opinions on which weapons I think are the best. Feel free to disagree or agree. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, let's get right into it. So starting off with the dagger, this weapon does a ton of backstab damage if you right click. It doesn't have a lot of range, so it's pretty niche. You gotta take your fights carefully, not get gunned down when you're running up to somebody. I'd suggest probably cloaking, or you need some way to catch up to people and get behind them if you want to get the backstab. It does one-shot the light and medium class, I'm pretty sure, and it almost one-shots the heavy class. So definitely really strong if you can get the backstab off, but if you're not able to, then it can be pretty rough to use. So just because it's so hard to use, I'll probably put it in C tier for now. We might move that later on, but I think that's where we're gonna leave it. Again, does a lot of damage, but it's hard to use. So yeah, it takes a very niche build to use the dagger. So next we have throwing knives. These were recently added. Honestly, I've used them and they don't feel very good. They don't do a lot of damage. They fall off, they fall down, they're not hit scan, and yeah, they feel really hard to use. They don't do a lot of damage, and yeah, they're just pretty meh. So I'd probably put them in D tier. I really think they're not that good. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if anyone has figured out a way to use this successfully, but I'm not liking them so far. The sword, like the dagger, except it doesn't have a backstab, instead it has a lunge. Actually, I think the sword is pretty decent. I'd say it's probably more like B tier. If you use it with the dash ability with the light class, it can feel really strong because you can dash around people and keep them from attacking you back, because it takes a while to aim while you're just dashing around and slashing them with the sword. It does pretty decent damage. I think like 3 shots most people. Maybe it takes a few extra with the heavy, but definitely would try using it with the dash. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's like mediocre. You're not ranged, you have to get up close, but it's fine. So the shotgun, I'd say it's a lot like the sword. You have to get up close. You only have 2 shots and then you have to reload, so that sort of sucks. And its range is abysmal. You really do have to be close and aim well with this. If you miss your shots, you're not going to get any kills. So I'd put it in B tier with the sword. Again, because you have to get close to use it, but it still doesn't feel awful. I just think in competitive matches, it's gonna be hard for any of these 3 weapons to actually get close to people before they melt you, especially if it's team playing together. You're not gonna catch people off guard. So very niche and specific. If you get good with them, that's pretty cool. I think there can definitely be some sick montages like with the sword or the dagger with how good the movement in this game is. So next, the V9S Silence Pistol. This used to be S tier. I think it's probably still S tier. It did get nerfed, but it's still really strong. I'd say the huge drawback to it is that its range really sucks. You have to be really up close to be able to get headshots with it. And if you're too far, if you test this out in the range, you won't get the orange hit markers that say you got a headshot, right? And it won't do the extra damage. So you have to be really close to use it. But if you like being up close and personal, especially with the movement in the game, this weapon can be really strong. It does a lot of damage. However, it is single shot. It's not automatic, so that can be a downside if you don't want to be clicking your mouse as fast as you can, jitter clicking and all that. So yeah, so I'd say it's probably still S tier, maybe top of A tier, probably bottom of S tier, we'll see. So next we have the SMG, basically the MP5. It does have a scope. It feels really nice. I'd say that it has a good time to kill. It has good range. It's just good in all of the categories. There's not something I'd say it sucks at. I guess I'd say if you're not aiming down sights, it is pretty inaccurate. So you're definitely gonna want to be aiming down sights with this gun. If you're aiming down sights, it basically goes straight up and then I guess a little bit to the right for the recoil pattern. But if you're not aiming down sights, then it just shoots all over the place. So unless you're really close quarters, I definitely say aim down sights with this gun. I'd say it's probably above the pistol in S tier. Very solid, good recoil pattern. Definitely suggest trying it out. It feels really good to use. The M11, this gun is pretty good close quarters, but I'd say anything at range, it feels like a pea shooter, and its recoil pattern absolutely sucks. It goes side to side. You definitely could learn it over time, but I hate this gun. I'd say it's still better than these just because they're so niche, and the daggers or the throwing knives just feel awful. And it does have more range, but it feels way worse than both of those for sure. I definitely put an A tier. It could almost even be in B tier, and you could put the sword down there. The sword and shotgun are pretty close though, so I'll leave it like that. I don't like it. I don't like the recoil pattern. It feels like a pea shooter, but if you like it, feel free to use it. Just you're gonna have to get up pretty close to use it for sure. The sniper rifle feels insane. I think in the hands of a god tier player, it could definitely be S tier. I think in the hands of the average, the finals player, it'll probably be the top of A tier. It does a ton of damage, basically two-shot everyone except for the heavy. If you're not getting headshots, and if you get headshots, you'll one-shot pretty much anyone depending on how far away you are. I definitely really like using it. It feels crisp and nice to use. Like bolting another round doesn't take too long. Or chambering another round doesn't take too long, and the gun just sounds amazing as well, and it does good damage. So it feels really nice to use, and if you're getting headshots, there's just nothing more satisfying than popping head after head with the sniper rifle. The other thing to note with this gun is it is very accurate, actually no scoping, so you definitely can get a ton of no scopes with this gun. And I actually don't remember if you get a crosshair or not. It honestly just comes naturally from years of playing like with the op in CS:GO. But definitely if you love sniping and you think you can be good at no scoping for those close quarters encounters, definitely try out the sniper rifle. I think it's really strong. I've gotten multi kills in close quarters with the no scope, so I just say try like crouch when you go for the no scope, and it'll be a lot more accurate. So definitely like it a lot. Try it out. Finally, we have our last weapon for this tier list. Again, this is the light class tier list. I'll be making tier lists for the other classes as well. The LH1 battle rifle, it has a very fast time to kill, especially if you're hitting your shots. It's pretty accurate. However, the iron sights do suck. Well, some people may like them. I really dislike them. They feel like they take up a lot of my screen. And it can be hard to like catch people, especially with how fast they're moving. So I'd probably put this at the bottom of S tier, maybe at the top of A tier, just because it has a huge mag, it does a lot of damage, it has really nice range. If you are good at hitting your shots, I'd say this weapon is really strong. I actually don't remember how accurate it is if you're not aiming down sights. I'm not sure I tested that or not, but it definitely feels good to use, and it has a really nice large mag. So if you're going for like huge team kills, like killing multiple people on the other team, I'd say this is probably your best weapon, just because it does so much damage and has such a big magazine capacity. So very strong gun. It may even be better than the pistol just because of its range. I'd say the SMG is just more reliable though, since it's fully automatic, and this gun is semi-automatic. But yeah, I think this is how I would put the tier list for now. You know, the melee weapons, if you're really good at getting up close, they could definitely be up higher, and maybe even move that down. And you know, like you could put the dagger, the sword, or the shotgun up there if you're good at using that kind of stuff. It really just depends on whether you're a movement player or not. And maybe I'm wrong about the throwing knives. Let me know if you've had any success with them in the comments below. They felt awful when I was using them, but you know, I haven't had that much time to test them out, so maybe they're better than I think they are, and they just take a lot of practice to use. It just felt like I couldn't throw them out fast enough to get a lot of damage. Even if you're getting headshots, they just don't feel that strong. And I don't like that they drop off over range, because it just makes them inherently worse than a gun. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think, whether you agree or disagree. I hope you enjoyed this tier list. I'll be making some more in the coming days. And yeah, feel free to subscribe. I'll be making some build guides as well if you want to catch those. And if you want to connect with me, feel free to join the Discord in the description below. Thanks to my channel members, Jed, Hastrel, and Professor Oak. I really appreciate it, y'all. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Good luck in your matches. The finals has been absolutely amazing. Been having so much fun, and finally it's a game that I can make content over again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the arena launching in a few days hopefully as well, so that's something to look forward to. But other than that, that should be it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, y'all.